Funny enough, all the people I was actually praying for were getting admitted. I still was not getting admitted. Before that, my parents have been inviting people over to know if there's a way they can give me any course, maybe political science or anything of that sort. And everybody saying, no, the score is too low or it's too late. There's nothing that can be done now. She has to wait till next year. And at this point, I was tired of checking my JAMB caps. After my SS3, I made a decision that I wanted to follow God. And the whole point of everything I was doing was to get admitted and stop following God, because I had no business, no concern with God. I was like, why would God be this wicked to me? My life was done with, and at some point I even contemplated on committing suicide because. Welcome back, and today's video I'm going to be telling you guys the story of how I got admission to study law in UNIZIK University. It's more of a testimony than it is a story time, so let's just get into it. Let me start from the day I wrote the JAMB. The past question I was reading, I wrote literature, CRS, and government. And if you don't know what JAMB is, it's one of the major ways to get into any Nigerian university. And there are other ways, but like I said, it's one of the major and most common ways. So I would say that every single page I turned to and I read actually did come out in the exam. It was as if I was giving the past question, or as if I was giving the questions to the exam actually. So in my head, I really thought I would get 294 because I kept saying I wanted to get 294, and that was a way of me manifesting it, if I would say. So the results came out and I got 236. It came out a week after the exam, and for a while I couldn't believe it because I was like, no, there's no way that can be my result, that cannot be my result and all of that. But after a while I just had to come to the fact and to the terms that that was actually my result. So my WAEC was good, my NICO was good. Fast forward to months later, the first list, that is actually the merit list, comes out for admission into the university, and I'm waiting for my name. So I hear that how they give the admission is according to A's, so agriculture, anatomy, those A courses. And now how they give people the admission now is by their surname. So if your surname starts from A, you're more likely to see your admission on time. So I keep waiting. The first list, there's actually 3 lists that comes out: first, second, third. There is also the supplementary list. Supplementary list is for those people that want to change their course. Maybe the course they wanted, all the spaces, they say it was allotted 300 spaces for people that are going to study medicine, and let's say medicine is like they don't give you medicine admission, so some people start buying supplementary list just to supplement and kind of get admission from it. I don't really know much about supplementary list, but there is also the VC's list. That is the last list, and once this list comes out, just forget it, like everything is done. So the first list comes out, my name is not there. Now I join Facebook groups and I start trying to make video ideas, like how to get into university, tips to get into university, how to survive university as a fresher. I started making all of those video ideas because I thought I was going to get into school then. And I start getting connected with some other people from the aspirants groups that I joined, people also wanted to study law. So I remember the story my sister told me, how she actually got her admission was one day she just went to my grandma's house and she just started praying for my grandma. She stopped praying for herself and then she got admitted. So I was like, okay, let me borrow that cheat code. So I decided to start praying for people. Funny enough, all the people I was actually praying for were getting admitted, or will I say was getting admitted, and I still was not getting admitted. One of the people that I was praying for came to me and was like, oh, I've gotten sponsorship for my admission and all of that. And I was just like, what is happening? Why not me? The third list came out, and at this point I was tired of checking my JAMB caps. JAMB caps is where you actually go to check your admission to know if you've been admitted by JAMB before you check the school portal to know if the school has admitted you. So you cannot check the school portal for admission if JAMB has not given you admission. So I gave up at this point. Before that, my parents have been inviting people over to know if there's a way they can give me any course, maybe political science or anything of that sort. And everybody saying, no, the score is too low or it's too late, there's nothing that can be done now, she has to wait till next year. And my parents started telling me to go to a different university because my score was actually way good enough for law in another university, and they started telling me, oh, go to another university and all of that. And I'm like, no, I don't want to change universities. I don't want to change my university. I actually want to study law in UNIZIK University. It's law in UNIZIK University or nothing. And later on, God told me one day when I was just contemplating on the whole thing that the reason why he actually did that, like he actually hardened my heart, like the way he hardened Pharaoh's heart, he had to harden my heart to be able to stay on that, because he wanted to do something with my life. He wanted me to go through a process. I was basically going through the wilderness. Now, the wilderness is a time of cutting down from a lot of things. That is the time God is going to deal with you as a person personally, not in a bad way, but it's for your own good. So I do not understand when all of these things were happening to me. After my SS3, I made a decision that I wanted to follow God, and I blocked all my classmates. I deleted their number, I left all the class group chats, I changed all my accounts, started a whole new account, blocked every single person, because that was really the way I felt, or I thought that I could follow God. Because the thing about following God is that when you want to follow God, God is going to bring you out of what you know. He's going to take you to a place alone where he's going to stay with you, just going to be you and him, and it's called the wilderness season. There is more to that, but just a little on this. I had to leave friendships, people had to leave me, and I felt like, that time Jesus Christ told his disciples that where he's going to, you cannot come with him to that place. That is just the way I felt at that point. So I felt like a lot of people might not understand me, and the only way I felt I could deal with this was by blocking a whole lot of people. So at this point, I decided that I want to do Jupeb. My elder sister did Jupeb, so I was like, oh, I want to go through that program. Now in my SS1, I actually was reading Jupeb test rules, Jupeb government. So I was doing all of that. I didn't know I was going to register for the program. And mind you, at this point, a whole lot of my other classmates have already started getting admitted, like getting admission, posting their pictures, matric and all of that. So I was actually using my Spy account. I was using my Spy account to look at all of this, because I just was like, wow, I was left alone. I felt like my life was done, and at some point I even contemplated on committing suicide. One day I was talking to my elder sister, and then she told me that at this point she doesn't know what else to tell me, because she was the only person talking to me. Remember, I blocked all my friends, and then she was like, I think you actually need to talk to a pastor or something. And then I remember that I had 2 pastors in my contact list, and then I just said to talk to one. Then he told me something that I would actually never forget, but at that point it pissed me off. He said, God promised to give you a job at Oceanic Bank. He didn't say when he would give you the job. He just said he was going to give you a job. So what if God is saying that he doesn't want you to get admitted this year, maybe next year? And I was like, why would God be this wicked to me? And I felt like I should actually intensify my prayers. I was praying, listening to sermons, praising God, but I was doing all this in pretense. The whole point of everything I was doing was to get admitted and stop following God, because I had no business, no concern with God. One day I actually got so frustrated. I was crying. There was nothing else I could do. I broke down at that point, and I just said, God, I give it all to you. I surrender to you. I give everything to you. I'm tired of the pretense. I'm tired of faking and everything. And I felt like that was actually when the decision that I made to follow God actually started. So after everything, I registered for the program, I wrote the exam, and when I saw my results, I was really happy. But when I saw other people's results, I felt like I didn't do well enough. A lot of people are getting 16s and 15s. If you know anything about this program, they say it's very competitive, it's very difficult, it's very tough, and it's very hard to get admitted. And at that point, I felt like I have failed myself, and I felt like I wasn't good enough. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do a change of university. I'm going to go to that other university that my parents were forcing me to go to the very first time. And the night before I changed, the night before I was going to do the change of institution, because there are options to do that. You can do change of institution, you can do change of whatever you want. So far it's in the allotted time, because there's a time they allot, or let's say there's a time they give for all of this things. So the night before that, I actually slept off on my phone, and in my dream it was as if I continued. And then I saw that the school was having some issues with their law program, meaning that I think after you graduate, you cannot really go ahead for your, what is it called, call to buy. You can't really go for the Nigerian law school. You can't really become a barrister. I think you can just become a lawyer, that you can't really practice or anything like that. So I don't know, but the school was having issues with the admission. And that was in the dream. And when I woke up, I went on Facebook and I saw that this was actually real, like they're actually having issues. So I started to wait, and as I was waiting, a whole lot of pressure was on me. Why not get admitted? Means admission. Mind you, most of my classmates were already in 200 level. Most of them were in 300 level. Those one day I was sleeping, the Spirit of God came to me. I was like, go and check your JAMB class, you've been admitted. I was like, I don't understand. And said it again. I was like, I don't understand. Then he disappeared. And later, hours later, I come back from where I went to and I checked my phone and I saw that I've been admitted. And that was how I got admission to study law in UNIZIK University. Any other details that I missed is going to be up on the screen. But yeah, I got admission to study law using the Jupeb program. So Jupeb, you don't basically read your year one. There is no year one for you. You just start from 200 level. And yeah, if you have any questions about any of the things I mentioned in this video, so far I'm comfortable sharing it. I would actually be answering your questions. See you in my next video. Until next time, have a good day. Bye.